Hi, and welcome to Paper Route Scrapbooking. I'm Nadine, and today I'm bringing you another episode of 5-Minute Scrapbook Tips, where I show you how spending just 5 minutes in your craft room on your busy days can help you have more time to craft when you actually have time to sit down. Okay, so today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I want to show you a little bit of a compilation of how spending those little bits of time in the craft room can set you up for success on the days when you actually have time to sit down and do your layouts. So today you might recognize this little starting point. So in my last 5-minute scrapbooking tips, I gathered a bunch of photos that I wanted to work with and gave them each a starting point. So that's one of the things I do with my 5 minutes. So I wanted to show you how I spent a little bit of time here and there during the work week while I was super busy and hardly home, and just slowly kind of put together this layout. So the first thing that I did after I had these kind of all set up with starting points was I knew I wanted to work with this photo. So I went looking for a starting point of inspiration, and I went into my scrapbooking classes because this is another goal of mine for this year, is to work my way through some of these. I have revamped my list and put on some things that I've either found in my scrapbook room or on my computer, and taken off the things that I have already done. So I'm kind of starting with a fresh list. And one of the things I wanted to work with was these paid like large workshop things. And so one of them is the Scrap Smarter experience. So I had 2 classes that I wanted to finish with the Scrap Smarter experience, and when I went online to look at them, like watch the videos, they've already been taken down. So that just goes to show how waiting and saying I have time later is not always the best thing. But thankfully I had saved the PDF handouts that the instructors had given us, and so I went on to those and I did a layout that had inspired me from this class by Sarah Scraps called Amp Up Your Stamping. And then I looked at this one for this layout and thought maybe I can find something in this next class called Layering Your Title by Shamel that would work for this layout. And so because I knew that the layouts in there had only like one photo, and that's what I was working with. So I went in and I picked one of the layouts that she had done for that class, and it started with a big cut file. So here was my starting point of inspiration, and then I went to my cut file. So that was a different day. I picked which layout I wanted to do. And then on another, I knew I wanted a cut file title, right? So I went onto my computer and found a title that worked with my photo, and I chose this one by Paige Evans called My Boy, and this, you can find this in her shop, I'm sure. So I will link her shop below. And that was what I had done for a different day. So one day I picked the starting point, one day I picked the class, then I knew I needed a cut file, so I cut that cut file. The next time I had a few minutes in the craft room, I decided I need paper, because there's no paper here yet. There's just a cut file and some things. Now when I had gone to cut my cut file, I forgot to change the settings, because the last time I used my Cricut I had cut plain paper, and this time I was cutting on cardstock. And so I don't know if you can even see that on there, but the cut file's kind of there, but it's just like indented. And then I pulled it from the Cricut before I noticed that it didn't cut all the way through. So I don't want to throw this away, but what I decided to do with it was that I don't want to do white on white anyway. That's just not the way I want this one to look. And so I'm going to use this wood grain, but I'm going to use this white piece that I kind of messed up with as my border piece. Okay, so then I had a background paper and a cut file and some embellishments and a photo. And then after I had picked this, I was like, well, I need some paper to fill in my cut file. And so I spent a few minutes opening my sports bin and found these couple of scraps of baseball paper. So I'm going to use one or the other of these. I'm not sure which one. I took them both out. And I want one of these baseball papers to fill in the O. Okay, so I'm not sure which one I'll use, but I'll make a decision later. And check this out. This paper is so old, this little one. It is from Paper Pizzazz and hot off the press, and it was 59 cents when I bought it. Good old days, hey, when you could get scrapbooking paper for 59 cents. Anyway, just had to share that with you. And then I didn't really have I don't have like a baseball collection or whatever, but I did have this, this used to be a paper pad, but it's just scraps now. So I have part of it in one, like in with my boy stuff, because it's not all sports themed, it's like little boy stuff. But I put this piece in with the sports and then some of the scraps from it. And so I think this is actually from something else, but it matched with the red. And I kept that in there because I think red is a really popular baseball color. And so I'm going to probably stick to the reds and blues and maybe one of like the colorful stripe pieces or something to back my cut file. And I knew I only needed scraps because that's all I need to do something like this. And then I might use like, maybe I'll cut out this home plate or this baseball piece for like an embellishment. But I do have a ton of embellishments in stickers and die cuts, right? So I might not need that, but that's where I found my paper. It was in that sports bin. So now I got my photo, my inspiration piece, my photo, a starting point, an inspiration piece, a background paper, papers to, I have a cut file title, papers to back my cut file, and what else did I need that I could do in a quick few minutes was that I needed some journaling. So I typed up some journaling and printed it on a scrap piece of paper and walked away. So this is what's sitting on my desk right now, but today I have time to scrap, and I just wanted to show you, like, sitting down with all of this stuff in front of me is just kind of a big relief, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not sitting down and just staring at this photo and being like, oh my gosh, where do I start? It's been such a long week. So I've kind of been thinking about it, and I already know where I'm starting. And hopefully this isn't the only page I do today, but because this one is so ready, it's going to be the first one I do, and that should open up my creativity. So I hope that helps you to see how this compilation of like spending 5 minutes in your craft room when you're busy can really lead to a really good way to start off a day where you have time to scrapbook, or even a day when you have time to do a layout, because even if I only had an hour, I can get this layout done in an hour, right? So I hope that helps. I will link to Paige's cut file below and the Scrap Happy website where I found my inspiration, although that content is no longer available. There is great content in those Scrap Smarter experiences if ever you should decide to sign up for one. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please click that like button to give me a thumbs up. Hit the show more button under the video description if you'd like to find links to some of the things we talked about today, and if you have a question or comment, just leave it down below and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. If you'd like to see more of my videos, it would make my day to have you as a subscriber. Just click that subscribe button and be sure to hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when a new video goes up. Have a great day, everyone. Bye for now.